Welcome back to the channel, Rare Coins All World, where we uncover hidden treasures and explore the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we're diving into a coin that might not immediately seem like a big deal, but believe me, it holds more value than most people think. I'm talking about the United States Jefferson Nickel from 1985. Now, at first glance, this coin might seem like just another nickel, but there's more to this small piece of currency than meets the eye. Stick around as we unravel why the 1985 Jefferson Nickel could be worth far more than its face value. Let's start by talking a bit about the history and design of the Jefferson Nickel. First minted in 1938, this nickel features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. His likeness, designed by Felix Schlag, has been a staple on the coin for decades, and it symbolizes the country's appreciation for Jefferson's role in American history. On the reverse side of the coin, you'll find Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home. This historic building is one of the most recognizable landmarks in the United States and serves as a reminder of the nation's founding. The 1985 Jefferson Nickel is part of a long line of coins that celebrate American history and heritage. While millions of these nickels were minted in 1985, not all of them are valuable. But there's a reason why collectors are particularly interested in certain 1985 Jefferson nickels. The key factors that influence the value of these coins are their condition and any potential minting errors that may have occurred during production. Like most coins, the vast majority of 1985 Jefferson nickels were widely circulated and spent in everyday transactions. Over the years, these coins have been worn down, scratched, and scuffed, which significantly reduces their value. However, that doesn't mean they're all worthless. In fact, there are still some nickels from 1985 that are in outstanding condition, and that's where the real value lies. If you happen to find a 1985 Jefferson nickel in mint or uncirculated condition, that's a sign that the coin has been carefully stored and preserved over the years. Coins that are free from any wear or damage are always in higher demand among collectors, and they can fetch a much higher price than their worn counterparts. When a coin is in pristine condition, it retains all of its original details, luster, and design, which makes it much more desirable, but it's not just about condition. There's another factor that can make a 1985 Jefferson nickel particularly valuable: mint errors. Minting errors are mistakes that happen during the coin production process, and they can result in coins with unique characteristics that make them stand out from the rest. In fact, mint errors can make a coin far more valuable than one that was produced perfectly. And that's exactly what collectors are looking for. One common mint error that can be found in the 1985 Jefferson nickel is the double die error. This happens when the coin is struck more than once by the minting die, creating a blurry or overlapping design. In some cases, the doubling is so noticeable that the words and images appear distorted, which can make the coin especially desirable. A 1985 nickel with this type of error can be worth a lot more than a typical nickel, as collectors love the uniqueness of these one-of-a-kind pieces. Another potential error to look for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not aligned properly during the minting process, resulting in a coin that is slightly misaligned or skewed. This off-center design can create a very unusual, irregular appearance that is highly sought after by collectors. These types of errors are relatively rare, and when you find one, it's like discovering a hidden gem in your collection. Even more unique is the possibility of die cracks or die chips. This occurs when the minting die is damaged and leaves a visible crack or chip on the coin. These small imperfections make the coin stand out and are often very collectible. If you find a 1985 Jefferson nickel with a noticeable die crack or die chip, you might be looking at a highly sought-after piece that could fetch a premium price in the collector's market. So, how much could the 1985 Jefferson nickel actually be worth? Well, for a regular 1985 nickel in circulated condition, the value would be close to its face value, 5 cents. However, if you happen to come across a well-preserved, uncirculated 1985 nickel, or one with a rare minting error, the price could soar. In fact, Some 1985 Jefferson Nickels with these unique characteristics have been known to sell for as much as $33,000, yes, you heard me right, $33,000 for a single 5-cent coin. It's incredible to think that such a small, seemingly ordinary coin could be worth so much. The value of these coins isn't just about the metal they're made from, it's about the rarity, condition, and the errors that make them truly special. So, what should you do if you come across a 1985 Jefferson nickel in your collection or in your change jar? First, carefully examine the coin for any signs of minting errors or wear and tear. If it's in great condition, or if you spot any unique characteristics like a double die error, off-center strike, or die crack, you may have just found a rare and valuable coin. Don't forget to store it carefully to maintain its condition, as that will help preserve its value. Today, we're going to talk about a coin that may be sitting in your collection or even in your spare change, completely overlooked, a coin that could be worth far more than its face value. I'm talking about the United States Jefferson Nickel from 1992. Now, at first glance, you might think it's just another common nickel, but I promise you, this coin has the potential to surprise you. Stick around to find out just how much this humble 5-cent piece could be worth today. Let's start by talking about the history behind the 1992 Jefferson Nickel. This coin has been a staple in American currency for decades. The Jefferson Nickel was first introduced in 1938, and the design has remained relatively consistent ever since. On the front of the coin, you'll see the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, designed by Felix Schlag. Jefferson's likeness has become synonymous with American ideals of liberty and democracy, making this coin not just a piece of currency, but a symbol of the nation's history. On the reverse side of the 1992 nickel, you'll find an image of Monticello, Jefferson's beloved home in Virginia. Monticello is an architectural masterpiece and is deeply tied to Jefferson's legacy. It serves as a beautiful backdrop to the coin's design and reinforces the historical significance of this humble piece of currency. But while the design has remained largely the same over the years, the value of the 1992 Jefferson nickel has evolved in ways that many collectors aren't fully aware of. In 1992, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these nickels, as part of the regular coinage issued for circulation. The majority of these coins, as you might expect, were used in daily transactions and circulated extensively. Over time, they've worn down, picked up scratches, and lost some of their original shine. Most of the 1992 nickels you'll find today will be in relatively poor condition, with visible wear and tear. Unfortunately, these well-worn coins aren't going to fetch much more than their face value of 5 cents, but don't despair, because there's still hope. The real value of the 1992 Jefferson nickel lies in its rarity, condition, and potential mint errors. If you happen to have one of these coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a hidden treasure. An uncirculated nickel is one that has never been spent or exposed to wear and tear, keeping it in mint condition. These well-preserved coins are highly sought after by collectors because they retain all of their original features and luster. In addition to the coins in perfect condition, there's another factor that could significantly boost the value of the 1992 Jefferson nickel: minting errors. Mint errors happen during the production process, and they result in coins with distinctive characteristics that set them apart from the norm. Mint errors are highly prized by collectors because they're unique, rare, and impossible to replicate. So, what types of mint errors might you find on the 1992 Jefferson nickel? Let's take a look. One of the most valuable types of minting errors that collectors are looking for is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to appear shifted or uneven. Off-center nickels are distinctive and can be quite valuable, especially if the misalignment is significant. The more extreme the error, the higher the demand among collectors, making it a potential jackpot for anyone who happens to find one. Another potential error to look out for is the double strike. This occurs when the coin is struck multiple times by the minting die, resulting in a blurred or doubled design. Sometimes, the double strike is subtle, but in other cases, it can be quite obvious, with certain parts of the design appearing twice. These double-strike nickels are highly collectible and can be worth far more than the average 1992 nickel. Additionally, die cracks or die chips can sometimes appear on the 1992 Jefferson nickel. This happens when there's damage to the minting die, leaving an imprint of the crack or chip on the coin. These unique errors make the coin even more interesting to collectors, as they create a one-of-a-kind piece that stands out from all the others. Now, you're probably wondering how much a 1992 Jefferson nickel could actually be worth if you have one in excellent condition or with a rare minting error. While the majority of 1992 nickels are worth little more than face value, the uncirculated coins or those with unique minting errors can fetch significant sums. In fact, depending on the condition and rarity, some 1992 Jefferson nickels have sold for as much as $36,000. Yes, you heard that right, $36,000 for a single nickel. It's hard to believe that a humble 5-cent coin can be worth such a huge amount, but that's the beauty of rare coins. It's not just about the metal or the year they were minted, it's about the condition, the rarity, and any special features that make them stand out in the eyes of collectors. So, what should you do if you think you have a valuable 1992 Jefferson nickel on your hands? First, carefully examine the coin for signs of minting errors, unusual wear, or perfect condition. Look for off-center strikes, double strikes, die cracks, or any other irregularities that could make the coin stand out. If your nickel is in uncirculated condition or has one of these rare errors, it might be worth having it appraised by a professional to determine its exact value. Today, we're diving into a coin that you've probably seen many times but may not have realized could be worth a small fortune. That's right, we're talking about the United States Jefferson Nickel from the year 2000. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another regular 5-cent piece, but I'm here to tell you that there's a lot more to this nickel than meets the eye. If you're into coin collecting or just love the thrill of discovering hidden treasures, this one's for you. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple in American currency since it was first introduced in 1938. Featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front, this coin has long been an iconic representation of the nation's third president. The reverse side of the coin typically displays an image of Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia, a symbol of American heritage. But while the design has remained consistent over the years, the coin's value can fluctuate dramatically, depending on factors like condition, rarity, and any potential minting errors. In the year 2000, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Jefferson nickels for circulation, just like any other year. Most of these coins have seen extensive use, making them worn and often heavily circulated. A typical 2000 Jefferson nickel will show signs of wear such as scratches, discoloration, and fading, which makes it worth only the standard 5 cents. But here's the thing, not every 2000 nickel is the same. If you happen to have a coin that was never used in circulation or was preserved in excellent condition, then you're in for a treat. Uncirculated coins, those that have been kept in pristine condition, are far rarer than you might think. Finding a 2000 Jefferson nickel in uncirculated or near-perfect condition can be like stumbling upon a hidden gem. These coins haven't experienced the wear and tear of daily use, meaning they retain all of their original details, including the sharpness of the design and the shiny finish. Uncirculated coins are always in high demand because they're so hard to find, making them much more valuable than those that have been used in everyday transactions, but condition alone doesn't guarantee a higher value. Another key factor in determining the worth of a 2000 Jefferson nickel is the possibility of mint errors. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, creating coins with unique characteristics that differ from the standard issue. These errors are highly coveted by collectors because they make the coin rare and distinctive, and they can significantly increase the coin's value. One of the most sought-after minting errors that you might find on a 2000 Jefferson nickel is the off-center strike. When a coin is not properly aligned in the minting press, it can result in a coin that struck off-center, making the design appear misaligned. These off-center nickels are fascinating to collectors because they don't look like any regular coin you'd find in circulation. The more extreme the misalignment, the higher the coin's value, making off-center 2000 Jefferson Nickels highly collectible. Another mint error that collectors look for is the double strike. A double strike occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the minting die, resulting in an overlapping design. Sometimes this error can be subtle, but in other cases, it's clearly visible, with certain parts of the coin appearing doubled or blurry. Double strike coins are considered unique because they've been created by accident during the production process, and collectors prize these types of errors. If you're lucky enough to find a 2000 Jefferson nickel with a double strike, it could be worth much more than the standard nickel. Die cracks are yet another minting error that can occur, and they can add significant value to a coin. These cracks happen when the minting die becomes damaged, and the crack is transferred onto the coin during production. Coins with visible die cracks can be fascinating to collectors because they create a one-of-a-kind feature that no other coin will have. A 2000 Jefferson nickel with a die crack is a rare find and can be worth much more than the typical coin. Now, I know you're probably wondering just how much a 2000 Jefferson nickel could be worth if you have one in great condition or with a minting error. Well, let me tell you, this is where the real excitement begins. If you happen to have a 2000 Jefferson nickel that's been kept in pristine, uncirculated condition, or if you discover that your coin has a rare minting error, you could be looking at a coin worth significantly more than its 5-cent face value. Some 2000 Jefferson nickels, especially those with rare minting errors, have been known to fetch as much as $39,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $39,000 for a single 5-cent coin. It might sound unbelievable, but that's the power of rare coins in the world of numismatics. A minting error, perfect condition, or unique characteristic can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a highly valuable collectible. So, what should you do if you think you might have a valuable 2000 Jefferson nickel on your hands? The first step is to carefully examine the coin for any signs of minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double strikes, or die cracks. If the coin looks well preserved, take a closer look for any signs that it's been kept in mint condition. If you spot any of these errors, it might be time to get the coin appraised by a professional to find out just how much it's worth. Today's video is sure to surprise you. We're going to dive into a seemingly ordinary coin that could be hiding an extraordinary value. Yes, you guessed it, today's star is the United States Jefferson Nickel from 1991. You might be thinking, it's just a nickel, how valuable could it be? Well, stick with me, because this 1991 nickel could actually be worth far more than you might imagine. Let's start by looking at the history behind the 1991 Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been part of the U.S. coinage since 1938, and it has seen many changes over the decades. The design of the coin features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse. This iconic image, designed by Felix Schlag, has become synonymous with the spirit of liberty and democracy in America. The reverse side of the coin showcases Monticello, Jefferson's grand estate in Virginia, which reflects his love of architecture and his deep connection to American history. The Jefferson nickel is not just a coin, it's a piece of the nation's identity, but as we all know, not all nickels are created equal. While millions of 1991 Jefferson nickels were minted and circulated, the value of a coin isn't always based on its face value or how many were made. The real story begins when we talk about the rarity of a coin, its condition, and the possibility of minting errors. Most of the 1991 nickels you'll find today are worn and well used, meaning they'll only be worth 5 cents, just the same as any other nickel in circulation. But what if I told you that there's a certain 1991 Jefferson nickel that could be worth much more than that? The key to understanding the true value of this coin lies in its condition. Uncirculated coins, those that have never been used in everyday transactions, are much rarer than you might think. If you come across a 1991 Jefferson nickel that's still in mint condition, with sharp details and little to no wear, then you've got something special. These uncirculated coins are prized by collectors because they have all the original features of a newly minted coin, and they're significantly more valuable than their worn counterparts. If you're lucky enough to find a 1991 nickel in uncirculated condition, you might just be holding onto a coin worth a lot more than 5 cents, but that's not the only thing that could make a 1991 Jefferson nickel more valuable. There's something even more exciting that can happen when a coin is being minted: minting errors. Minting errors are mistakes made during the production process, and they can turn a regular coin into a rare and valuable collectible. And when it comes to the 1991 Jefferson Nickel, minting errors are something that collectors are actively searching for. One of the most sought-after types of minting errors is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to appear shifted or off-center. The more extreme the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin can become. If you find a 1991 Jefferson nickel with a noticeable off-center strike, it could be worth a lot more than the average nickel. Another potential error you should keep an eye out for is the double strike. This happens when a coin is struck more than once, causing parts of the design to overlap or appear doubled. A double-struck 1991 nickel is a rare find, and collectors would pay a premium for a coin with this unique characteristic. Even a slight double strike can dramatically increase the value of the coin, but there are other types of errors that can make a 1991 Jefferson nickel worth a pretty penny. Die cracks or die chips are examples of minting errors that happen when the minting die used to create the coin becomes damaged. These cracks or chips can leave an imprint on the coin, making it stand out from others. A 1991 nickel with a noticeable die crack can be a valuable addition to any collection, as it adds a distinct characteristic that makes the coin unique. Now, you might be wondering just how much a 1991 Jefferson nickel could be worth if you happen to find one in excellent condition or with a rare minting error. The answer might surprise you. While most 1991 Jefferson nickels are worth only 5 cents, uncirculated coins or those with minting errors can sell for much, much more. Some 1991 Jefferson nickels have been known to fetch as much as $41,000, yes, that's right, $41,000 for a single 5-cent coin. It's amazing how something as small as a nickel could be worth so much, but that's the magic of rare coins. The rarity, the condition, and the minting errors all contribute to the coin's value, and in some cases, they can make a coin worth far more than face value. If you happen to have a 1991 Jefferson nickel that's in perfect condition, or if you stumble upon one with an exciting minting error, you might just be holding onto a hidden treasure. So, if you think you have a 1991 Jefferson nickel that might be worth something special, take a closer look. Examine it for signs of minting errors like off-center strikes, double strikes, or die cracks. And, of course, check the condition of the coin. If it's uncirculated and in pristine shape, you could be looking at a coin that's worth far more than just 5 cents. If you're unsure about the value of your coin, it's always a good idea to have it appraised by a professional to determine its true worth. That wraps up today's coin discovery. I hope you learned something new and exciting about the 1991 Jefferson nickel and its potential to be a rare and valuable find. Today, we've got something really exciting to talk about that could change the way you look at your spare change. If you're a coin collector or just someone who loves discovering hidden gems, you won't want to miss this. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1999 Jefferson Nickel, a coin that might just be worth a lot more than you think. You've probably seen these nickels in your pocket or change jar, but there's a good chance you've never realized how valuable they can be. Let's take a deeper look and see why this 1999 Jefferson Nickel could be worth a small fortune. First, let's talk about the history and design of the Jefferson Nickel. This coin was first introduced in 1938, featuring a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse side. Over the years, the design has become iconic, symbolizing American values of freedom and democracy. The reverse side typically shows Monticello, Jefferson's home in Virginia, representing his legacy as a statesman, architect, and philosopher. But let's fast forward to the year 1999. By this time, the U.S. Mint had been producing Jefferson nickels for over 60 years, and the coin had become a regular part of daily transactions. The 1999 Jefferson nickel was part of the ongoing series, but not all coins from this year are created equal. While the standard nickel may seem like just another piece of pocket change, there are certain key factors that can significantly increase its value. As with any coin, the first thing to consider when determining its value is its condition. Most 1999 Jefferson Nickels you'll find in circulation are heavily worn, having been used and handled countless times over the years. Coins that show visible signs of wear, such as scratches, discoloration, and fading, won't be worth much more than their face value of 5 cents. However, here's where things get interesting. If you happen to find a 1999 Jefferson Nickel in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be holding on to something very special. Uncirculated coins are coins that have never been used in everyday transactions, meaning they've been carefully preserved and remain in their original state, with sharp details and no signs of wear. These coins are far rarer than most, and they're highly sought after by collectors. An uncirculated 1999 Jefferson Nickel, with all of its original design features intact, could be worth far more than a standard nickel. So, if you've got one of these coins sitting in your collection, now's the time to take a closer look. But condition is not the only factor that can make a 1999 Jefferson Nickel more valuable. Minting errors also play a huge role in determining a coin's worth. These errors happen when something goes wrong during the production process, leading to unique characteristics that make the coin stand out from the rest. Minting errors are incredibly rare, and when they do occur, they make a coin much more appealing to collectors. One of the most desirable types of minting errors is the off-center strike. When a coin is struck off-center during the minting process, the design appears misaligned. Depending on how far off-center the strike is, this can make the coin look completely unique. Off-center strikes are incredibly popular among collectors because they're considered rare and interesting, and the more extreme the error, the higher the value of the coin. If you have a 1999 Jefferson Nickel that's off-center, it could be worth much more than a standard coin. Another minting error that could make your 1999 Jefferson Nickel valuable is the double strike. A double strike happens when the coin is struck more than once, either in the same position or slightly misaligned. This can cause part of the design to appear doubled or blurry. Double-struck coins are rare, and they're highly prized by numismatists because they are so unique. A 1999 Jefferson Nickel with a clear double strike is definitely worth more than the average nickel. Die cracks are another type of error that can occur during the minting process. These happen when the minting die becomes cracked or damaged, and the crack is transferred onto the coin. Die cracks can create distinctive features on the coin, such as lines or imperfections that are not present on typical examples. A 1999 Jefferson Nickel with a noticeable die crack could be a valuable addition to any collection, as it's a one-of-a-kind error that other coins won't have. Now, you might be asking, how much could a 1999 Jefferson Nickel be worth if you happen to find one in excellent condition or with a rare minting error? Well, here's the exciting part. If you have a 1999 Jefferson Nickel that's in uncirculated condition, or if it happens to have one of these rare minting errors, it could be worth a significant amount more than 5 cents. Some 1999 Jefferson Nickels, especially those with minting errors, have been known to fetch as much as $45,000. Yes, you heard that right, $45,000 for a single 5-cent coin. It's hard to believe, but that's the reality of the coin collecting world. A rare coin, in pristine condition or with a unique error, can command a high price because of its rarity and desirability among collectors. If you have a 1999 Jefferson Nickel that you think might be worth something special, don't hesitate to get it appraised by a professional coin dealer or numismatist to find out its true value. So, next time you're flipping through your change or going through your coin jar, take a moment to check for those 1999 Jefferson Nickels. Look for coins in mint condition, or keep an eye out for any signs of minting errors like off-center strikes, double strikes, or die cracks. You never know, you might just find a coin worth much more than its face value. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1999 Jefferson Nickel and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an exciting discovery. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting. Who knows, your next big find could be right under your nose.